Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. NBA analysts are saying the Warriors are a playoff team at best and will likely fall in the first round of the playoffs. A big player is being suggested who will make an immediate impact in the Western Conference, and that player is Walker Kessler, joining a team that already boasts stars Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler. Walker Kessler is a great center and is unlikely to stay with the Utah Jazz. If the Warriors can land him, he will be the team's biggest addition this season. It has been a disappointing offseason thus far for the Golden State Warriors as they have yet to make any additions to their roster outside of the second round of the 2025 draft. Of course, Golden State was expected to be aggressive this offseason to upgrade their roster around their star trio of Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, but that has not been the case. Instead, the Warriors have had to deal with the ongoing situation regarding restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, who has turned down Golden State's contract offer. Because of this, the Warriors have missed out on multiple free agent targets this offseason, though it has been reported that they have deals in place with multiple free agents, including Al Horford, that are expected to be finalized after Kuminga's situation is resolved. Warriors in need of frontcourt depth. Despite this, Golden State could still look to make more moves ahead of the trade deadline to upgrade their roster, and one area of need for them entering the season is frontcourt depth. Of course, the Warriors are expected to sign Horford, but they could still use another big man on their roster after losing Kevin Looney in free agency, and one player they could target is Utah Jazz center Walker Kessler. Mock trade lands Warriors Walker Kessler. In a potential trade, the Warriors could send Buddy Hield and draft capital to the Jazz in exchange for Kessler. For the Warriors, moving on from Hield would be a tough decision for them to make as he is one of the best three-point shooters on their roster who played a key role for them last season. Despite this, swapping him and draft capital for Kessler would be a massive boost for Golden State's frontcourt, and big man would also give them a key young player to build around in the future. Last season, the 24-year-old center averaged 11.1 points, 12.2 rebounds, 1.7 assists and 2.4 blocks per game while shooting 66.3% from the field. For Kessler, he would give the Warriors a great defender and solid inside scorer while also providing them with a much-needed rim protector alongside Green in the frontcourt. While adding Kessler would be a massive upgrade for the Warriors' frontcourt, the Jazz may instead want one of Golden State's young players in return instead of Hield, and they could also ask for multiple first-round picks, which the Warriors may be unwilling to give up. One Warriors player in danger of losing starting job in 2025-26 training camp. The Golden State Warriors enter the 2025-26 season clinging to the remnants of their dynasty while searching for a sustainable path forward. Stephen Curry remains the face of the franchise, of course. The pressure is mounting, though, as the Warriors attempt to balance aging stars, cap constraints, and an influx of hungry young talent. Training camp feels especially urgent this year because for at least one starter, his spot in the lineup is already under threat. The Warriors' 2025 offseason has been anything but smooth. At the center of the gridlock is restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. He has yet to finalize a new contract. Until his situation is resolved, the Warriors can't move forward with other signings. That has left the offseason effectively frozen. So far, their only moves have been drafting second-rounders Will Richard and Alex Tui, while watching longtime center Kevin Looney depart in free agency. According to reports, there has been no substantial progress in negotiations with Kuminga. This has, of course, kept the team and its fans in limbo. Rumored additions such as Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton could help salvage the summer into a respectable, if unspectacular, effort. However, until the stalemate with Kuminga breaks, the Warriors' offseason remains unfinished and difficult to evaluate. Here we will look at and discuss the Golden State Warriors player in danger of losing starting job in 2025-26 training camp. On the hot seat, Buddy Hield. Among those feeling the pressure in Golden State is veteran shooting guard Buddy Hield. Known for his elite three-point shooting and ability to space the floor, Hield has carved out a strong career as one of the league's most reliable long-range threats. Last season, he provided steady offense and filled a crucial need alongside Curry. That said, the NBA is unforgiving, and competition never stops. As training camp approaches, Hield's possibility of holding on to a starting spot looks increasingly tenuous. Brandon Podziemski's rise. The biggest reason Hield's starting role is under threat. The rapid ascent of Brandon Podziemski. The third-year guard took major strides last season. He evolved from a promising prospect into a legitimate rotation player. He showcased improved shooting range, playmaking ability, and, perhaps most importantly, buy-in on the defensive end. Podziemski's development makes him a natural fit next to Curry. Unlike Hield, who is more of a pure scorer, Podziemski brings a versatile blend of shot creation and energy. Steve Kerr loves to see that in his wings. With his youth, hustle, and ability to complement the Warriors' aging core, Podziemski has positioned himself as a very real challenger for the starting job. Depth adds pressure. Even beyond Podziemski, Golden State's backcourt depth makes Hield's situation tricky. If expected additions like Melton and Gary Payton II come to fruition, Kerr will have a stable of guards who bring defensive intensity and versatility. Melton, in particular, is the kind of two-way player who could easily slide into the starting lineup if Hield struggles. Payton II provides elite perimeter defense and high energy that Kerr has leaned on heavily in the past. Add Moses Moody to the mix, and the Warriors suddenly have multiple guard options competing for minutes. For Hield, that means his margin for error is razor thin. A cold shooting stretch, defensive lapses, or even a lack of chemistry with the starters could lead Kerr to make a switch. Kerr's philosophy doesn't favor specialists. Kerr has always valued balance. Sure, he respects shooters. However, he typically prioritizes wings who can guard multiple positions, cut, pass, and play within the flow of the Warriors' motion-heavy system. Hield, for all his offensive firepower, has never been known for his defense or versatility. That's where Podziemski has the edge. He may not match Hield's shooting numbers yet. Still, his all-around game aligns more closely with Kerr's preferences. Training camp and preseason will likely serve as an audition. Hield will need to show he can keep pace with the team's defensive schemes if he wants to remain in the starting five. Strategic transition. It's possible this isn't even a question of either-or. The Warriors may find value in shifting Hield into a bench role while elevating Podziemski to the starting lineup. Doing so would allow Golden State to maximize both players' strengths. They could see Podziemski's playmaking and defense in the opening minutes. That can be followed by Hield's scoring punch as the leader of the second unit. This approach could also help extend Hield's effectiveness by giving him more freedom against opposing bench units rather than top-tier defenders. This balance could prove crucial. Projected depth chart and remaining holes. Assuming Kuminga remains, Golden State's projected starting depth chart looks something like this. PG, Stephen Curry. SG, Buddy Hield/Brandon Podziemski. SF, Jimmy Butler. PF, Jonathan Kuminga/Draymond Green. C, Draymond Green/Al Horford. Bench options: DeAnthony Melton, Gary Payton II, Seth Curry, rumored, rookies Richard Ntui, Moses Moody, Quinton Post, Tracy Jackson-Davis, Gué Santos. Even with these, the Warriors still have clear holes like a lack of size up front and questions on the wing. The likelihood of three-guard lineups remains high. However, as Curry and Green age, small ball may no longer be the reliable crutch it once was. Jonathan Kuminga teases free agency decision as 4 NBA players await Warriors move. Jonathan Kuminga remains the focal point of the Golden State Warriors offseason. The 22-year-old was a solid contributor for the team last year, averaging 15.3 points off the bench while showing flashes on both ends of the floor. The entire offseason, however, has been dominated by negotiations over a new contract, restricting the Warriors from making further moves. To add to the reported friction between Kuminga and the team, Kuminga was filmed prepping with his trainers in a 3v3 game in an empty gym. The Warriors are currently at a minicamp in San Diego, organized by Jimmy Butler, and Kuminga's absence highlights how important control is for his camp as the team continues to wait for a final decision from him. The fact that he is still training, just away from the team, may as well hint towards a potential exit. Top 10 Plays of the Week. Bay Area reporter Dalton Johnson showcased the video of Kuminga's workout on X, showing him working with his camp. Negotiations between the two parties have stalled after Kuminga was offered a 3-year, $75.2 million contract with a team option in the final year. The player has resisted the final year team option because it requires him to cede control. He reportedly prefers the player option in a final year or a 1-year deal. His agent, Aaron Turner, has suggested to Mark Stein that that's because taking the 3-year deal greatly increases the likelihood that Kuminga gets traded between December 15 and the February 5 trade deadline. The Warriors have rejected sign-and-trade offers this offseason already, but that is reportedly not tied to their intention of keeping him around long-term. Instead, the player and his agent clearly believe the front office simply wants him to sign a contract so that he can be shipped away for a package they do deem enough. This stalemate also has broader implications for the Warriors. The team is waiting to resolve the issue before trying to sign some of the free agents still on the market, including Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton, Gary Payton II and Seth Curry. His stalling has already cost them. Malcolm Brogdon, who initially wanted to sign to the Warriors, became tired of waiting and joined the Knicks instead. Now, the Warriors need to work fast if they want to make potential additions, with the lack of depth being apparent at regular intervals last season. Kuminga's desire for control has left Warriors in limbo. Jonathan Kuminga has left the Warriors in a holding pattern, and until he commits, the team is hesitant to make other moves. With training camp less than a week away, the Warriors need him to make his decision quick. However, their want to keep him is justified. The young forward's on-court impact, especially during the playoffs, where he averaged 20.8 points per game in the second round against the Timberwolves, means that the Warriors have every right to hold out. This is because despite the rumors stating that Steve Kerr does not see JK as a long-term piece, evident in the fact that he has not been able to nail down a starting spot, his value as a trade asset cannot be understated. Multiple teams can be expected to put up decent packages for the player, with his agent Turner suggesting that they only have to wait it out until the next offseason. That suggestion represents the worst solution for the Warriors, as they are then effectively guaranteed to lose JK for free next offseason. No matter how the situation proceeds, it is clear that the player and the franchise's fates are reluctantly tied as things stand. Warriors disrespected by everyone before training camp even begins. Seriously? Have you never met Stephen Curry? The Golden State Warriors have faced some level of disrespect for much of Stephen Curry's career. They were disregarded as a title contender during their rise because they were a jump-shooting team. No one thought they could come back and win another title in 2022. And now everyone assumes the Warriors are floundering back into mediocrity. John Hollinger of The Athletic recently profiled 5 teams that he believes will outperform expectations next season. One of those 5 teams was the Golden State Warriors, as Hollinger noted that betting markets have placed the line for Warriors wins next season at a paltry 45.5 wins. That number is fairly insulting to Curry, to Steve Kerr and the entire Warriors organization. That isn't meant to be a dramatic sentence. It is literally insulting because it takes a step away from what every objective metric would say about the team. The Warriors are obviously better than that. As Hollinger points out, the Warriors have won 48, 46, 44, and 53 games the past 4 seasons, and that was without Jimmy Butler on the roster. After adding Butler last year, they went 30-11 down the stretch, then upset the 2-seed Houston Rockets in the first round of the playoffs. Is this a 60-win team? Likely not. Is this a 50-win team? It seems very likely. While the Jonathan Kuminga saga has stretched on all summer, the roster that Mike Dunleavy Jr. and the front office have assembled and are lined up to sign is extremely deep. That matters, because they certainly are not young, but even if rotation players miss time, there will be someone else ready to step up into place. If Stephen Curry misses extended time, the Warriors would obviously be in trouble, but you can say that about nearly any team and their best player. He is healthy now, however, and has played in at least 70 games over the last 2 seasons. When he is on the court, Curry remains a top 10 player who still breaks defenses with his shooting and off-ball movement. This is not the 2016 Warriors, or even the 2022 Warriors. The odds of this roster coming together to make a run at another title is slim. It's there, but it's a long shot. Yet that doesn't mean this team will be anything other than a solid playoff team who easily clears the 45-win benchmark. The Western Conference is extremely competitive this season, but it has been for the entirety of Curry's career, and he has still elevated teams to consistent success. Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler remains a formidable trio, and either they will have Jonathan Kuminga, the most likely outcome, or another player like Malik Monk in his place. Al Horford is the perfect fit for what this roster needs. Moses Moody and Brandon Podziemski are on the rise. Veterans that know the system fill the rest of the roster. The Warriors are a really good team. For some reason, Las Vegas and the popular consensus doesn't see that. Thankfully, Stephen Curry and company are no strangers to being disrespected.